Rand Paul said the GOP shouldn't go crazy over voter ID. It's offending people. Who the hell is Rand Paul turning into? What is this?
I don't know.
Rand, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? It shouldn't have. Who cares if it offends people? It's right.
Did you guys go to your local city elections this weekend? I did, and when I went to vote for the mayor and the city council, I had to do such an offensive thing. I had to show them my driver's license.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
That's apparently how they knew I was who I said I was.
No way.
And then I had to actually sign my name.
No, just stop with it. Just please stop.
Oh, it was hateful. It was hateful,
please
Glenn.
Stop. Don't go any further.
I got into a corner of the room and I wept. I wept openly. And I just was so broken as a man because they made me produce ID.
I love that because I was listening to a report this morning and they said there was another referendum vote somewhere in eastern Ukraine, which another part and 90% again said they wanted to separate from Ukraine. And they're like, well, but international authorities will not accept this vote because there were no voter registration rolls. And it does not appears that people may have voted more than once. And there may have been some. Oh, really? You care about it there? Because you don't care about it here. It's hateful. But not here. Aren't you racist against blacks in the Ukraine by even pointing that out?
70% of the black population are not offended by showing your driver's license because they all understand it.
That's the thing. Rand Paul says this is going to offend people. You know who's offending? Black people. 70% of them say this is fine.
Yeah. No, they want
this is fine. Look, you have to be carded when you go in and buy liquor. Mm-hmm. What is the problem? What is the problem?
I don't get this.
Do you hear anybody when they say yeah, we're going to have to card people at the liquor store? Do you hear people say you're offending minorities? Minorities go in and buy liquor and then you're going to card them?
To drive, you're going to be asked for your license.
It's crazy.
And perhaps the craziest part of the entire thing is this is literally one of the most popular things Republicans support.
Yeah, it is.
It's
so winnable by the Republican Party. All they have to do is state the facts.
The polling on this, you're talking about 60, 70, 80% of blacks, liberals, Democrats, every group that Republicans can never grab on any issue, support the Republican stance when it comes to requiring ID at the polls.
Why is Rand Paul doing this?
I don't know. I guess he's trying. Certainly some people are offended by it. He's obviously right on that.
Yeah, it's usually the Democratic leadership.
Yeah, usually.
He's worried about offending the Democrat leadership?
I guess he's been doing this tour on with black pastors and been speaking to a bunch of black pastors apparently, and apparently he's just addressing their concerns. But
they're not concerned.
He's smarter than that. He's smarter than that.
Look at the polls. They're not concerned.
If you've got a black pastor who tells you people are offended by this, you show them the poll. Really? In the black community, about 70 to 80% of blacks support this.
I don't understand.
They all have ID of some sort. It's not tough to get. It's not hard. It's not expensive. It's not too much to ask.
If they drive, if they go to work.
Yeah. You can get state IDs for $5 or $10.
If you buy liquor, you have to have an ID anyway. Mm-hmm. What kind of small little minority of a minority are we talking about that this would really affect?
I don't know.
It is so clear that it is the right thing to do.
And my guess is, even if you can't afford it, I'll bet you could get it in most states for free. A state-issued ID.
I think it was Kansas that did this, and part of their voter ID rule was to provide a little or no cost.
That's all you have to do.
ID. And the issue was, of course, and fill in the blank, we all understand what's going to happen, no one utilized that option because everyone already had ID that was going to vote.
Yeah.
But almost no one
That's why it would not be expensive.
What's the option?
Not a driver's license, but a low cost or free state ID, so you can still vote. So the hurdle of cost is taken away, which is what we're told is the actual argument here. Well, it's not the actual argument.
No, if you take away the cost, they'll go to
fraud.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard for them. It's hard. Can they do one thing for their citizenship? You can't ask them to go down to a place where you will get a free ID?
When
people
you
who don't
say
have one.
them, what
when I
is-
say them, I mean people who don't have one. They could be white, they could be blue, they could be black, they could be green.
Notice he throws in blue.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
the first time I've ever heard him finally recognize the
blue
blue
people? Yeah,
Blue
I
Man
apologize
Group.
to the
You
blues.
have had a problem with the Blue Man Group for a long
Long time.
Long time.
Long time.